Listen, folks, something just came up. I was in the middle of making a different video. This is Tiller, Oregon. This thing just hit the Oregonian, just hit another website. Somebody made me aware of this, and it is a town in south central Oregon where the whole town is for sale. But this is an unincorporated area, which means if you get a level of control on the real estate, you can set the zoning ordinances. If you can set the zoning ordinances, all this really cool, fun, off-grid, tiny house, waterfront property, subdivision, all that kind of stuff, all of a sudden becomes very possible. All of a sudden, as much weed growing, pot growing, any of that kind of fun stuff you're into, Oregon's already been voted on that stuff, okay? When you incorporate, you control the police department. Okay, so there's things with that, opportunities that come along with that type of thing, zoning ordinances, who gets to have what type of businesses there, all that type of stuff is for sale. So what's been announced in Oregonian, and apparently have been making its rounds with some real estate circles, and I realized I hadn't uploaded and edited all these videos about the real estate thing. Tiller is close enough to central westernish Oregon that it's not the desert in eastern Oregon. And a lot of this stuff that you're going to see online is the eastern Oregon real estate where there's not a lot of water. The Malheur fiasco, all that kind of a stuff is really on a dry side, okay? Tiller is not the desert. And so this property that's available is right on the Umpqua River. You buy it, you control the local government. That's the big deal. Right now, they've got an asking price of $3.85 million. Assume it's going to take $4 million, maybe 4.5 to make this thing happen. If you can make that money, I'm going to give a shout out to George for title. I had called a few weeks ago. I said, listen, we're trying to find a real estate thing. We're trying to find something. I realized he was busy with some other stuff, but he had been in that business. I'm going to give a shout out to libertarian, patriot type people that have access to that kind of money, that kind of financing. I would like to go there in person. I am ready to roll as your representative on this deal. And if you want other representatives, I will do the front work, the advanced work, pass it off to the other guy. I just want to be in on this, okay? I want to be in on this. This is your actual sovereign opportunity where it's not some bullshit that somebody made up on a ranch, okay? This is something where you buy in, you get this thing, you'll have to incorporate the area. There's a few other civic things that got to happen. But they cost money, but you have the authority to do that. That's what's being listed in this real estate listing. So it's in Tiller, like a boat tiller, Oregon. You can look this up. I'm going to put some links. There's going to be some links in the comment section below. This is an opportunity of a lifetime because most of those town for sale type things are so far out in the desert or non-sustainable areas. There was a reason for it. Tiller, Oregon has apparently been an up and down town because of the logging industry. So they're on a down thing. The logging industry kind of played out. It takes, 30, 40 years to grow those trees in that time period. People leave. So the town is apparently right now mostly abandoned, but the buildings were there. I can do the inspections. I can look at this stuff. I can go in with other inspectors and at least go in, do tour, do video, get a look at this for people, and do that level of advanced work and go from there. Another really big deal is there's a bunch of riverfront property there. So this is going to be available for development. And the thing is, this is our opportunity for a experimental community that's a planned experimental community. It can have things that you decide it should have, and it's along a major road, so you can't gate this whole thing off. You can gate off little sections, but you can't gate this whole thing off because it's along a state road. So the state road goes through the middle of this thing. This isn't going to be like a walled off compound at the end of a blank road. Although, from my look at the maps, you can look at the maps, you can look at the end of some of these roads, you might be able to put something like that in. But the actual town and the trade route is what's for sale. And a trade route, in my opinion, a trade route and waterfront property is really important. It also, they're saying there's 250 tax lots involved with this, but when you have control of the city government, you can subdivide that. Okay, so we can make tiny house friendly lots. That's a big deal. Tiny house friendly real estate, waterfront type stuff where, you know, you could do the shipping containers, you could do the alternative housing. Apparently state government's going along with this thing. Okay, they want to see an experimental alternative off-grid community, or something where it's off-grid friendly, or something where it's tiny house friendly, all this other type of stuff. If you're really biting, you know, you're wishing, man, you know, what if we could build an experimental town? What if we could do something there? What if we could make this? This is the opportunity. So I'm going to upload this video right now. I'm going to put links in the comment section. I'm not sure if I'll get them in a video description. I'll at least get them in the comment section. You have ways of getting a hold of me through the YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. If you want me to be the front man, I am pretty much ready to roll. Okay. I've been staying in a place. It takes me about a day to get there, maybe a little over a day, but I can get there. Not looking for some bullshit game. Okay, we want somebody who's interested. I can probably cover my own expenses, but I want to deal with people who are for real. And if you're not for real, I'm going to move on to the next guy. Anyway, we'll do some follow-ups on this. Follow-ups are going to be in links below also. We're going to look at Oregonian article. We're going to look at Tiller, Oregon, and I'm going to give a shout out to some of the people that I know on Facebook. I'm going to tell them to put some links in their little Facebook pages, and you know, maybe we can develop a commission on the internet, and this is where the internet becomes a place, especially for, you know, the libertarian volunteerism. You really want to have a community, a sustainable community, something that's affordable and attainable. Let's look at available people. This is not North Idaho. This isn't the middle of nowhere. This is accessible to I-5 corridor traffic. If somebody's traveling north and south on the I-5 corridor, this is like a side road off. It doesn't really add a lot of miles to the journey. You can make a side road. Go to Tiller, Oregon. Oregon is a marijuana legal state. Okay, it is one of the more liberal states when it comes to firearm laws. Okay, it is a very firearm friendly state. Okay, it is a class 3 state. This is a state where if somebody has a prior criminal record from somebody else, somewhere else, the local government can fuck you over with that. But certain aspects, it's not a third strike state. Okay, so if you're really afraid of coming in from another state, maybe you got some priors, but you put together money, you got a place in the community in that. This isn't some place where somebody's going to be holding a third strike over your head if you piss on the sidewalk or something, or they come up with something to extort or blackmail you, like certain people in Washington State. You know, they would find out, oh, somebody's got a prior, let's blackmail them, let's take all their shit, tell them to leave town. Oregon law doesn't allow for that. Okay, certain aspects of Oregon law enforcement would like to play that, but when you control the town, there's that. Granted, if you're involved in something that's going to bring a whole lot of negative federal attention, obviously that could be an issue. And obviously, the more people that move into this thing, there's voters. Okay, so you got to romance voters once you have this, because once you buy this town, you might be the landlord of the town, but you still got to romance the voters on things that involve the people and all that kind of stuff. Let's get this thing uploaded and get the discussion open on this matter.